Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending wherever you are. Today I am reading Reddit stories, specifically Am I the butthole? You already know the word. But yeah, so let's get started. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button. And as a little side note, also hit the notification bell because that way you know whenever I upload and you can immediately get on the video. Anyways, let's get to the story. Am I the bad guy for telling my brother and sister in law to stop blaming everyone else for my nephew's behavior when he's a monster of their own making? My nephew, Dylan, is 16. My brother, Jesse, and his sister in law, Nicole, suffered years of infertility before they had Dylan. The pregnancy before Dylan's ended up in a stillbirth. Jesse and Nicole were absolutely devastated. They were terrified to try again and potentially lose a second child. We all shared this fear, but thankfully, my nephew was born healthy. However, Jesse and Nicole have been so focused to tell him on the fear of potentially losing Dylan that they won't tell him no and do not enforce any boundaries. They excuse his unacceptable behavior by saying we should just be grateful that Dylan's healthy and here with us. Quick note, practically every adult in his family has recommended therapy for Jesse and Nicole, but they refuse because they say that Dylan is healthy slash here with us, so everything is fine. So stop bringing it up. All of Dylan's teachers say that he's a respectful and focused student. Dylan is clearly capable of behaving, but but his behavior at home is unacceptable because because unlike school, there are no boundaries or consequences enforced on him. Dylan cusses, breaks things, and flips off his parents until he gets his own way. Nicole asked Dylan to please wash his cup, and Dylan responded, "How about you go yourself instead?" Dylan has left multiple dents in both Jesse and Nicole's car while stealing it. Dylan hasn't begun driver's ed. Jesse and Nicole insist that bad influence kids are to blame for Dylan's home behavior. And these bad kids are manipulating Dylan to act this way, quote in air quotes. Jesse and Nicole do not take any accountability for for enabling their lack of boundaries. Jesse and Nicole arrived at last week's family dinner exhausted. They explained Dylan broke their flat screen after Jesse and Nicole told Dylan to get off his Xbox so they could use the TV. Dude, that's absurd. Like, that is absolutely absurd. These people need to control their kid. I don't care, they do. Back to the story. Jesse and Nicole asked if I could help them out with the new TV, and it would be greatly appreciated. I'm childless and in my 30s, so I'm the most financially well off and usually the one they come for help, quote unquote. I suggest I suggested instead that they make Dylan get a job because he will learn after to be much more respectful of their property after he experiences the hard work for something that goes into earning it. They immediately shame me for being so irresponsible because a kid shouldn't have to worry about keeping a job. And come on, Rose, don't sorry. Come on, Rose, be an adult. I replied that if they wanted to talk about being adults, then they need to stop blaming everyone else for Dylan's behavior when he's a monster of their own making. The other dinner guests immediately sided with Jess and Nicole because I have no idea how hard it is to punish or even make your miracle child unhappy. And I have never known the heartache that comes with years of infertility or the devastation of a stillbirth. And I could have still been stingy without starting a fight and running and ruining a pleasant family dinner. Am I the butthole? Here is a reason why OP thinks that they are the butthole. I think I am the butthole because I have never experienced Jesse and Nicole's struggles. So my family members say I had no right to shame them for their parenting, and I could have turned down their request for money in a non-offensive way. Ain't no way, bro. Dude, that is absurd. Yeah, no, you are not. It doesn't matter if it's like the pain of all of that. Like, if you need to at least punish your child, it doesn't matter if it's like like it doesn't matter the severity of a punishment. At least punish them so that maybe they can get a sense of right or wrong. Because I'm really mad here because he broke a flat screen TV and they expect him to pay for it and not the kid. Like, I'm so. No, you are not the butthole OP. You are completely in the right here, and yes, they need to stop blaming other people for their child's actions because that's completely unfair. And your family seems extremely toxic because, like, I they immediately sided with them because they don't know the pain of a stillbirth when they broke a flat screen TV. Those things cost a bunch and an Xbox. Freaking, I would literally sell my kid's kidneys. I would sell him to buy a new Xbox if he did that. Or him such, or depending if I had a kid. So, yeah. You definitely are not the butthole, so yeah. On to the next story. Am I the butthole for calling out my sister-in-law who was acting pregnant when she's not? Okay, before I even start this story, no, you are not. If she's acting that way, like, you should call her out because, like, unless it's a joke, but like, if she's trying to do it for attention or something, yeah, you should call her out because that's just not. That's just no. This happened last week. I, a teen male, was taking my dad and stepmother about. Oh my god. This happened last week. I, 18 male, was talking to my dad and stepmother about the fact that I had chosen to change my last name back to my original one. They married when I was 8 years old, and at the same time, they wanted one family name. So my dad's sister and I took her name because she had four kids with the same name as her. It's with the same name as her versus the three of us. Neither my sister and I wanted to change our names. Our name was both our mom and dad's name. They share the same last name, but were not related. So it was not just who we had been up to that point, but it was something that we shared with our mom, who died when I was 6 and my sister was 7. Our argument against it was shot down, however, because they told us that it would be easier to live as a family with the same name. Having her last name never felt right to me. I never saw her as my mother, and I don't have the same kind of bond with her that I had with my mom or have with my dad. I voiced I voiced as a teenager but that I would change it back sometime, but they ignored me. Once I made the decision to do this, now that I am an independent adult, I, des- I decided to discuss it with them. It was not well received, and the discussion last week became very heated and intense, with them telling me not to. Hold on, is this the same story? Oh my gosh, this is not the same story. I clicked on another one. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Dude, I'm so stupid. Why? Well, the title is Am I the Butthole for Walking out mid conversation and refusing to discuss it more? Uh, with okay, back to the story. With them telling me not to, and with a lot of talk around how I was being mean and how I had lived with her name longer than my original one, and people knew me by it. At that point, my sister chimed in and said that he and I would both go back. One sister? Oh, she said that he and I would both go back to the original name, and the process is. And she started saving once she learned from me what the process is and how much it costs. This was a fuel to add it to the fire. It got out of hand, so I walked out and on the conversation and left the house and went back to my dorm. They sent texts saying how I given how I had how I had given them the chance to hear from me, but I would not discuss it further, and it was happening. They called me childish and told me I was not behaving like a man. That men don't walk out mid conversation, and they don't just refuse to be manipulative and refuse to discuss things. Am I the butthole? No, you didn't want to change it in the first place. They forced you. You are an adult and you can make your own choices. They don't have control over it. You don't have to hear them out. You can just do it without their consent. Because that's not fair. You never even wanted to change it. If you want to change it, because you are an adult, you can make your own choices. Like, like, if you want to, you can. Like, some people even change their name without their, relative's blessing. I think that's what that means. Like, their blessing to change their name or like to be together. But like, yeah, without their relatives wanting them to change their name, people can still do that, and that's totally up to them. And if they're gonna be like that, that's completely toxic and not fair. Like, I really, really hope that you see this post, that you see this video, even though you're not, because this is like my first Reddit reading video. But yeah, I'm. These two stories got me pretty mad, so I'm gonna go. Also, I don't know if the video in the background is laggy, because that's not my actual computer's frame rate. I don't know if it is, because that's what it showed on the recording website, but it's just like, it shows that on the recording website, but that's not it. But yeah, anyways, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to, hit the notification bell so that way you get notified every time I upload. And also, this is not my only content. I will be posting gaming content, talking content, maybe some cooking content if I can film that, because I really like to cook. But yeah, see y'all later. Bye bye.